Hey guys, welcome to another review. This time it's a Sunday game. This one is not hosted by me. Well, actually the other one is also not hosted by me, technically. But I am the admin. And this game, DSCH, is an admin, and it's a slightly different game. At the moment it has more people. I believe we are 24 total in the game, and finally, although I usually don't play major countries, like I rarely play major powers. I usually play stuff like Netherlands, sometimes Italy, like I did last time, Spain, Greece. What else do I like playing? I don't know. Serbia, well, but they're occasionally like I rarely play France, UK, Germany, Russia, or USA. I believe I played Germany once. I've never played. Actually, I played UK once, but that was a sub. I didn't actually pick UK. I was switched to it, so it wasn't my original pick. Anyway, in this game I'm playing Mexico, but I feel like I should first talk about Outland, about Europe, because that's where the most stuff has been happening so far. And honestly, I don't really like playing American countries. Don't like the immigration fact that you need to rely on it, and it's overall not very interesting gaming unless you have a lot of people there, and then mostly good players take over European countries, so there is just more fun playing in Europe than playing outside of it. And although sometimes it really depends on the roster, like if you have a decent players in Americas, then it can be quite fun. It really depends. But the other thing that I don't like about it is because you basically don't get to develop your own industry or your own country, simply because of immigrants do that for you, so you don't have to do much to actually be that great. Also, you're quite weak in the early game because you need to promote your pops, and it takes time and stuff like that. Like without Navy, you don't have much space to expand. So first, talking about Europe, we have Mega France in Europe. I believe they're allied to Italy, even though not offensively. So it's basically just France doing their work, cutting off NGF. So what happened here was that France won a huge war in the beginning against, I believe it was NGF at that time, so they won Rhineland. Now at that point it was France and Russia against Germany and Austria. So as soon as Austria and Germany started losing, UK joined them, but by the time that British troops actually landed in Europe and in France, NGF actually made quite a big comeback, and I think that was mostly. Oh, by the way, I should probably introduce the players. We have a new player in Germany. I believe he's not playing with us anymore. Then Justin Biss playing Austria. France is played by Vincino and Gurin. Gurin subbing for Vincino when Vincino can't play because he can't always play. So that's a scary France. And then Lembley playing UK. I don't know who's playing Spain. I believe it's Joby. Italy is played by Kremlord, and Netherlands playing by DSCH. Christian is playing Russia. Those are the important countries for this war. I might introduce other players when there is something important to talk about other countries. So Wembley decided to join that war, and Vincino made a huge mistake. He already, if you go to Gaku's channel, and actually I might have actually recorded that, I'm not sure, but once after the Saturday game we used the same save that we used earlier and tried to recreate the 1 versus 1 war between France and Germany. So Vincino was playing, actually not France and Germany, not France and NGF. So France definitely has an advantage there because they almost have double the amount of brigades NGF has. NGF should have slight tech advantage, even though at that point I actually didn't have tech advantage. I believe techs are the same, maybe one tech advantage, which is not a huge deal. So the only actual reason why NGF could win that war is because of better positioning and usually better army composition that German NGF has, and that is because of more artillery, because their factories are just better. That didn't happen here. Actually, at that war that I was playing Germany, what Vincenzo did was, I tried to assault him because German NGF, we were like kind of role playing, so NGF should have been like attacker. So I tried to attack him, but that obviously didn't work, and there is just no way that I would try to do that in normal game. And my troops were kind of crushed, but I still kept lines behind my front lines. So I kept retreating, and he kept attacking me. But then, like, I would still commit to losing battles just to give enough time for my troops to reinforce. At that point of time, like, his troops were so exhausted that he couldn't fight me, and then his artillery was completely out of organization, and I managed to make a huge comeback. He did exactly the same mistake against this Germany, like this NGF, and I don't know why. He overextended once again. Like, if you are winning that war, you either need to completely annihilate German troops, or you just, once you win those initial battles, you keep positions and occupy his territory, winning slowly. But what Vincenzo do is, like, he's trying to do both things at the same time, like occupy your territory and destroy your troops at the same time. It just doesn't work if you don't have such a superior position. Now, on the other hand, this NGF also made mistakes. First of all, his front line was completely crushed in the opening days of the war. Then at some point, Vincenzo started making mistakes and was destroyed in Germany and pushed back all the way to France, basically barely escaping with his troops. So at that point, Russia started sieging Germany, and there is a mistake the German player made, and that is, he tried to split his armies, half to do Russia and half to do France. That just doesn't work. You need to win either against France, or you will need to win against Russia and then move against France. But you have to force one of them out of the war before trying to win the big war. So Austria did provide very limited help, because I believe they were also attacked by Sardinia at that point for Lombardia, and I'm not sure what exactly happened there, but obviously Sardinia won the war. In any case, I thought that the war will be won by NGF, because England decided to join them and started sieging France and reinforcing Germany here. But then Russian troops just annihilated Austrian and German brigades here, and that was basically the end of the First War. Now, there were two more wars that followed. One of them, I was still in the game when it happened, and Germany just was completely crushed by France, no chance there. And unfortunately I had to leave earlier last week, so that was the second session. And at that point, I believe there was one more war that I'm not sure what France took there. Probably Baden or maybe Westphalen. I'm not sure. In any case, Germany, NGF is in a very bad spot, and I believe Russia won't be helping France anymore, because at some point they could be potentially a threat of Russia, even though that moment is not near. But who knows? Better be prepared. Now Austria is trying to make a European forum against French aggression. Obviously, NGF and Spain joining them. I believe Spain was also in the previous war, but wasn't able to make a huge impact quickly, so Germany just beased out. Not sure what Sweden is doing there. We didn't have Sweden player in the first session, so in the second session when we got a player, he didn't really have the best time because of Scandinavia should be formed by that time, and it's questionable if we're gonna see Scandinavia anytime soon. I believe if Denmark is going to be speared by them, I know they're banned by Russia, so that's not happening. It's very unlikely that we're gonna see Scandinavia soon, which is quite sad. I think that would benefit Germany and everyone in Europe to make it more balanced in a way that Scandinavia would most likely help Germany fend off France, but we'll see about that. So Romania was also released in a crisis against Austria-Hungary, and Greece was also released against Ottoman Empire, and I believe now we have a Greece player. There is also Egypt player. I don't know who plays Egypt. I think it's a new guy, I'm not sure. So they seem to be doing quite well. Civilization progress, but they're civilized actually, which is very well. 1856, that's a pretty good timing. 20 years in, that's a decent timing. Not sure if we could do better, but they're quite well here. So they either lost some territories or traded their territories to UK. I don't believe they have any treaties with Ottoman Empire, and I believe they fought a war against Ottomans and won it. Yeah, they do have a truce with them, so they definitely fought it. And it seems like they actually just finished that war, so well, it seems like we'll finally have some interesting Middle East. Also Persia taking Iraq and Baghdad. Actually, Persia taking a lot here. I believe they do have an event where they get a course on this, but it might need to be a certain year. Let me actually change to Persia. Did I not? Oh my god. There we go. So do they have that decision? I know that they have it in the other mod, but they either took it or they don't have it in this one. Where Iraq, Baghdad, and whatever, Mosul also becomes their core. So I don't know. On the other hand, we have a Japan, very strong Japan. Morocco is playing Japan, and he's in a very good spot. What the fuck is this? Japanese Middle Siberia. That should be there. Okay. I don't know how that happened. Formosa. Basically, they took everything they could take here, and they're probably on the infamy limit. So no, actually, only 11 infamy. I expect some great things from Japan in this game. I believe they're in a very strong position, considering that Europe has to focus on France and their expansionism, so we'll see what happens there. On the other hand, moving to my country, that is Mexico. First of all, there are two ways of playing Mexico. Either you concede to USA and give them what they want, or you fight them. I decided to do the latter. So, didn't want to give up my land, and what I did was, in the beginning, most of the viewers actually streamed the beginning of the session, but then my PC died and I couldn't continue streaming. What I did was, I let Texas occupy me, and also began the war against USA. Whoa, sorry, it's a message. And I began a war against USCA, also letting them occupy me. The reason for that is A, if I started winning a war against Texas, USA would be able to join that war on their side. B, I really wanted militancy to be able to pass reforms. So, at the moment, I enacted all of the healthcare and school system reforms. Also, I got some few more political reforms to boost my immigration rate. So that's a great thing, and on top of that, and probably the most important thing, I got to enact a decision to form an empire of Mexico instead of just Mexico, which is far better because you switch off from democracy to, I believe it's absolute monarchy. Okay, it's HM's government. Okay, it's almost the same thing. And that allows you to constantly switch parties, which increases your militancy and which gives you even more reforms. aside from that, it obviously gives you opportunity to make your own factories and control your industry in the early game, which I'm definitely gonna do. So UK played a huge role here in helping me defend off USA's invasion. So USA tried to forcefully take my territories and their cores later on, trying to actually weaken my position here. They tried to humiliate, but I guess they would try to take some more territories if the war went their way. So what we did was we destroyed American troops, and then quickly I occupied Texan territories and got my stuff from USCA, got Honduras and their capital, Guatemala. So I'm in a very good position right now, got all the techs I wanted. Also, I noticed that no one was going for, what's it called, prestige techs. So I also got those. And I'm now 10th with a quite decent chance of actually becoming a great power sometime soon. And considering that USA is actually ranked 9 right now, I could become the major power in both Americas. Since, what? Oh, in region, okay. Whose plans are not Brazilian? Okay, since Brazil is not doing that well, and Colombia, even though it's a great Grand Colombia right now, it doesn't seem like they will be doing that well. I'm trying to get, what the fuck is that war? I'll repay that. Why? Okay. Sweden attacking Morocco. By the way, we have a Moroccan player. I might decide to protect them just for the sake of it. Like, I don't think I can do that at the moment, but it would be interesting to do that later on. Just to have Morocco doing something. So, what my plans are for the future, I did sign a non-aggression pact with USA. No one benefits from fighting on. I could potentially take on USA right now, even alone without any help. And I believe I can defeat them. But UK threatened that if I actually try to become a new USA and become too powerful, they will get here and contain me. At which point USA will just turn against me. They would destroy me. So I'm not taking those chances. Better remain friendly with USA. Also, I have a alliance pact with Grand Colombia, and it seems like they have some troubles with Brazil, and which I don't want to be part of. And I'm not sure who is going to help Brazil. Is it going to be USA or maybe Chile? Chile is also a player getting over infamy. They got contained quite a few times, so their prestige is terrible right now. But they do have some nice territories, so that's a slight compensation for it. I don't think I'm gonna be expanding into Africa in this game. That would be a poor strategical choice, even though Africa is obviously the most valuable land that I can gain right now. I don't want to... I will definitely get into conflict with European powers at some point, but I don't want to do that right now. It's too early, and getting into Africa right now would just cause me some troubles, which I'm not really so keen on taking. Also, I did expand into Southeast Asia, so I believe I'll be continuing expanding there and trying to set up a few colonies there. Obviously, the Netherlands doesn't want me here. But I don't believe we're gonna be huge competition unless you really press an issue there, because he doesn't have too many colonial points, and it's very unlikely that he'll be able to compete with me in colonization, so he just better try to be my ally rather than fight me. I think that'll be beneficial for both sides. Because I believe UK is protecting Netherlands right now, but as soon as France starts piling on Europe once again, I think UK will definitely have to engage there, and they won't be able to just fight on every side of the planet. So that's for the second session. Once again, I wasn't actually playing for the good part of the session, and AI probably destroyed my country a bit. And they started researching nationalism and imperialism, which is a good choice, and I'm pretty sure I would actually go for that. Regardless, although nitroglycerin and inorganic chemistry is always good, so that's probably my next deck. We'll see what they do about that. Just want to check one more thing. Switching to, so I have 31 brigade possible right now. Go to USA, they could have 50. It was a completely different story at the beginning of the session, so I think I was able to field 25 and they were able to field only 15 or 14 brigades, but the immigration that USA is getting is just sick. And it's very hard to overcome that. We'll see. Actually, I don't have a reliable way of seeing the immigration right now, because if I impose it will be AI controlling countries, and it's different than in a multiplayer. So anyway, I believe I will be streaming this one also, and that is going to be on Sunday. Ooh, I'm not sure about the time, you'll have to check it. I'll post it on Twitch so you can see that. So anyways, thanks for watching and have fun.